Hey, how's it going? Rich from Elk Endeavors here. Hey, today I wanted to talk to you about rewriting your script and thinking about the past as something that you leave behind, you learn from, but you leave it behind, and moving on toward the future. So I was listening to Tony Robbins this morning, and he was talking about how we look to our past, or we look to our past to really kind of inform the way we write our future, and I think that's the big problem here, is that we have things in our past that we can't help but, or we think we can't help but utilize for our future. So he was talking about how we if you're looking through the windshield, right, instead of the rearview mirror, if you're living your life through the rearview mirror, you're gonna crash because you're always looking back, right? And so one of the things I thought about this morning was that I remember when I was in college, I was dating a woman, and we were in the Army together, and that summer we wrote a lot of letters together, and we also drove a lot together. We drove all around all up and down the eastern seaboard of the United States, getting to Fort Bragg and to Boston and to New York State. And one of the things that she said in her letter, I was stationed in Germany at the time. She said in her letter that she didn't want to see me in her rear view mirror. She was a year older than me, so she had graduated. She didn't want to see me in her rear view mirror, and she didn't want to see me in the windshield. She wanted me in the car with her, and I thought that was such a beautiful sentiment, and I never forget it. I'll never forget that. And we ultimately, went our separate ways, and it was within like 6 months of that letter. But the point is that it was a matter of like being in the car and being present with me. It was the most important part, right? So the way I want to kind of look at this is like if you want to rewrite your script, starting today, like if you want to start living a successful life and thinking through how you can be successful, the way you do it is you rewrite the script. You use what you've learned, but you take that and you take advantage of it and look forward, look into the windshield, right? I'm in my car, I'm waiting on an appointment. I'm looking into the windshield, thinking about what I want to do and how, not how I'm gonna accomplish it, right? And that I'm going to accomplish it. So the success mindset, when you think about success, I think about it from from in front of me, but also here in the car with me, right? Like sitting right here in the passenger seat, chilling. He's like the invisible man. Get it? So just thinking about like my success mindset it's in the passenger seat, and the reason I say that is because it lives inside me already. My success and my ability to succeed at whatever I want to do is in the car with me right now. It's in me right now, and I'm just moving forward toward more success and more excitement through my life. Now, one of the things I think that's important is that, like, as I've lived my life, I'm very much into this whole script writing idea, and I used to direct plays, being an English major. Shakespeare said he didn't say, but he wrote it in one of his plays, and now I can't remember which one it was, but all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players, right? We're all in a play. That's all this is a big giant play. And every person has his entrances as his exits. We all just do the thing that we need to do. And some people do it to survive, and some people do it to thrive. And I used to be a survivor. I used to be someone who just kind of tries to get by. Not like I used to try to do, I've always tried to do things in an excellent fashion. Excellence has always been my goal. And that's been evident to me throughout my life, in terms of my achievements and the things that I've done, my accomplishments. But I've never given myself credit for being successful at those things. I've always given myself, I've always kind of written it off as like, I got lucky, or they went easy on me, whatever it was. Like I've always not given myself credit. And that, that's obviously made it very difficult. But as I rewrite my script and as I think through that, I'm throwing out all those old messages to myself. Like, those are messages, and they're very strong messages to myself, that I will not put up with anymore. And I don't put up with them in my children or my wife. Like, I tell them, I don't tell my wife, but I encourage my wife, but I tell my kids that, they're not to think like that. They're not to think like I can't do it, or, I only got this because of this. They got this because they tried and they were successful. And sure, there's luck involved. It's, in some parts, but like, certainly you can't be lucky all the time. It's like a clock. A broken clock is right twice a day. But other than that, it's not. And so that's really what it kind of boils down to. So I guess in all of what I'm saying is, like, thinking through how we redefine our lives, how we rewrite our scripts, and how we go through the rest of our lives, no matter whether you're 10 years old or 46 like me. I've been living a different script this year. Ultimately since February, I've been living a completely different script, and that script has allowed me to not be the miser. I refuse to be the miser. I've lived as the miser my entire life. I've lived in a debt mindset, concern mindset, scared of debt, and thinking about, like, well, what so I don't have fear of debt anymore because I'm in debt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's happened. There's nothing to fear because I'm already there. It's like being scared of getting bitten by a shark, and like, once you've been bitten by a shark, you're no longer scared. It's happened, right? And so, I mean, God forbid, I feel bad for obviously people that have done, but you know what I'm saying. And so when I think about how I'm going to live my life coming in the future, I'm not scared of being in debt. I'm scared of, like, what happens if I don't do anything. Like, that's really what it boils down to, is like thinking about, oh my God, what if this is the rest of my life? Like, what if 40 years from now I'm looking back on this and thinking, oh my gosh, like, this whole time I've been so focused on my debt that I never bothered to think about how I could make more money for myself and be more successful and have more for my family and be able to provide in a better way for my family. And that's really, a really important point, is that I'm no longer fearful of of debt. Like I'm looking forward to the future, and the future is sitting right here with me in the car. Like I've said, my success is in the car with me. It's in me, and it's in my windshield. I look in the rearview mirror solely to remember and make sure that I'm not making the mistakes that I've made in the past. And then other than that, I'm looking forward, because that's where my focus needs to be, and that's where I always need to have my attention. And Brian Tracy said that he had a karate instructor that said, that he always needs to be moving forward, no matter whether he's moving, a half an inch or a foot. He always needs to be moving forward, because when you're looking back, or when you're moving backward, you're thinking backward, and you're worried about what's behind you. And 50% of your attention is on what's behind you, and not what's in front of you. So that's what I wanted to impart today. Rewrite your script with the success mindset, with the greatness mindset, with the belief and the absolute certainty that you will be successful, and you will be. Like, there's no, you can't get around success. It's like you can't get around failure. If you believe you're going to fail, then you're going to fail. You can't get around it. If you believe you're going to succeed, then you're going to succeed. And if you write that script, and if you pay attention to it as a script, then you absolutely will succeed. So I thank you very much for watching. I'm really excited to make this video. If you like what I have to say, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know how I'm doing. Drop me a comment in the links, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.